Match 54, Godzilla and Anguirus vs. Gororin by Christian Salibert. The giant quadruped known as Anguirus tread through the jungles of Monster Island. The mutant ankylosaur was in a rare, quiet mood and had no desire to struggle against his fellow kaiju. Unfortunately, fate had other plans for Anguirus. A loud rumbling
Anguirus, you can't be happy.
He's good guy Anguirus. He doesn't want to fight anyone today.
Or ever.
Yeah. A loud rumbling was heard, filling his ears. He stopped in his tracks and turned his head from side to side, trying to sneak out the source of the noise. He saw nothing, but the sound was getting louder by the second. Something was approaching Anguirus, and very quickly at that. Could have used a comma there. I don't know, that's just me. He began to turn and look behind him, when suddenly something smashed into his side. The armored beast howled in pain as he flew through the air. Jeez! Flipping around sideways before crashing onto the ground on his back. Woozily... I know woozily, like, woozy's a real word, but woozily? I don't think...
It is a real word, of course. Woozily.
Okay. Alright.
Okay, great shot. You don't have to be all snobbish about it.
Yeah, and when you have a belt, you have M, or you said to W for woozily.
Anguirus shook his head as he got back to his feet. Roaring angrily, he turned to face the one who dared to attack him. The narrow yellow eyes of the plant monster Gororin glared back at him. Fun fact, you guys actually know Gororin has a roar, right?
It does?
Yeah
it does.
It's like this deep rumbling roar. It is so weird.
Is it like when you pop a balloon or a basketball, like the deflating?
Unfortunately, no, but that would have been amazing.
I think it would have fit the character slightly more.
Yeah.
Yes, I wholly concur, but let's continue.
Does he make angry plant noises?
Anguirus howled in fury at the spherical plant, which did not respond in kind. The armored quadruped charged, but Gororin rolled out of the way, dodging good guy Anguirus' attack. Gororin swerved and spun around Anguirus, again smashing into the beast's side. Anguirus howled in agony as he felt the creature's needles pierce his flesh. The monstrous cactus rolled back, then slammed into its foe again, lodging more needles into his skin. Anguirus staggered backward, hurt from the attack. Gororin rolled to a safe enough distance and glared at its opponent, planning its next move. In an instant, it began tumbling towards Anguirus, aiming straight for his head. Anguirus spotted it and hatched a plan of his own. Seconds before Gororin struck, Anguirus lowered his head and forelegs, raising his hind legs. Pass.
Ooh.
Gororin rolled up Anguirus' shell as if it were a ramp. With a strike from his spiked tail, Anguirus sent Gororin careening through the air, slamming to the ground with a mighty thud. Anguirus straightened up and stared at the unmoving Gororin for a moment. Another moment passed, and still the plant kaiju did not move. Anguirus nodded, satisfied, then reared his back head into the sky, howling triumphantly.
Winner Anguirus.
There should have been, or so he thought. A volley of needles shot out from Gororin's being, striking and planting themselves into Anguirus' neck. Anguirus cried out in pain and crashed to the ground, clawing at his neck. I can understand that. Thorns are the absolute worst.
Oh, yeah.
I could think of something else that's the absolute worst, and it's in this chat right now.
Hey. Hey, that's not nice to make fun of Kaiju X.
Hey, man, don't go pinning it on me. He just lost respect for me like 53 minutes ago.
Gororin sat and watched as Anguirus tried desperately to remove its spines. It decided it was time to finish the dinosaur off and began to roll towards it. The roar of Godzilla pierced the air. I think that was...
Yeah, that was 5.
Yeah,
that was
pass.
5. So, Joe, you're up. You take 5.
Great. I didn't get to read that much.
Woohoo!
Hey!
Gororin spun itself in an attempt to catch sight of the new arrival, only to receive a faceful of the Monster King's powerful quote-unquote tail. The blow sent Gororin soaring through the air before roughly crashing into a mountain miles away, stopping its flight cold. Godzilla roared furiously as the cactus creature rolled down the side of the mountain and back towards him. He would make sure Gororin realized that his allies was a grave mistake. Godzilla's dorsal spine splashed, powerful energies burning inside him, as he spewed forth his atomic ray. The blast hit home, striking Gororin dead center. Only the plant's advance was not halted. Steam rising from the plant's heated skin, being the only visible effect. Godzilla looked puzzled and tried again, but this blast was as successful as the first. By now, Gororin had gotten too close and it leapt into the air, body slamming Godzilla right in the chest. Godzilla shrieked and fell onto his back as Gororin returned to the ground and began to turn, planning to strike again. Godzilla started getting back on his feet, but Gororin struck again, slamming into Godzilla's neck and knocking him flat on his face. By now, Anguirus had managed to dislodge the needles in his neck and roared angrily at Gororin. Seeing the spot that Godzilla was in, he charged as the cactus neared Godzilla, then leapt towards it, flipping over on its side. Anguirus' jagged shell slammed into Gororin, knocking him away from Godzilla and sending him bouncing away like a fucking basketball. I want to see a match where a bunch of monsters play with Gororin like a basketball.
Like Godzilla Save the Earth. That mini game, they just use him as the ball.
That would be amazing. Yeah. Well, that has to be a thing one day. A neutered, neutralized Gororin being used as a basketball.
Yes. I need it. Okay. Anguirus groaned as some of Gororin's needles had managed to even pierce through his shell into his flesh underneath. Godzilla growled in fury as he got to his feet, ripping out a few needles that had become lodged in his chest. Oh, not Godzilla's man boobs. Godzilla scanned the area, looking for the needle-covered orb. Oh, I didn't know this was a Tom match.
Well, I mean, he is an orb. I'm just kind of shocked it didn't say needle-covered eye.
King of the Monsters refused to be outmatched by a mere ball. Suddenly a bark from Anguirus called him to attention, and he spotted Gororin rolling in from the southeast, heading directly for them. Godzilla quickly unleashed a series of atomic blasts at Gororin, and though it incinerated the foliage around it in a huge burst of fire, the rolling demon remained unharmed. Is Gororin a demon?
No, it's a alien plant cactus.
Oh.
So the definition of demon.
True. Very true.
Christian needs to be fired. I don't care.
Anguirus cried wordly as Gororin approached, but Godzilla narrowed his eyes and ready. Just as the plant monster was within reach, Godzilla swung his tail forward, slamming it into Gororin's side and knocking him away. This time, however, Godzilla shrieked in pain. He had not struck Gororin's face as he had before, and gotten his tail stabbed with several needles. Godzilla roared as he spotted Gororin and fired another blast at it. Though Godzilla's ray was just as ineffective as before, this time Gororin responded with his own projectile. Dozens of needles shot from its body, striking Godzilla in the chest and neck. Again with hitting Godzilla's chest. Screeching in pain, Godzilla staggered back before tripping over Anguirus and toppling over him. The two reptiles cried out as they collided.
Oh!
Godzilla's just as clumsy as ever. Gororin watched
Yeah,
as
quote unquote clumsily or clumsy. We all know he wanted a piece of that Anguirus.
Gororin watched as its opponents struggled to get. Each time, it would fire another series of needles at them, sending them back to the ground. Though the cactus monster possessed no voice. Okay, I thought he had a roar. Why you lied to me, Kaiju X?
Again, I mentioned the roar thing earlier because most KWC matches say that he has no voice, when after seeing the show for myself, he does. But go
Damn
ahead.
it, Christian.
Oh yeah, Kaiju X. How is it watching a show at
How's watching a show as what?
with episodes that are only about 3 minutes long? Must get irritating having to go to the main menu every time.
Yeah, it kind of does, but it's not as bad as you think it is. But, Joe, continue. It's yellow eyes.
I know. Yeah, it's yellow eyes. It's beautiful yellow eyes. Yellow eyes conveyed its evil glee all too well. Pass.
You have one more.
Oh, okay. Godzilla managed to get to his feet and looked over to Anguirus. Both mutant monsters were tired and wounded by this vegetation, and neither of them liked it one bit. Well, I wouldn't like getting my ass kicked by a cactus either. Godzilla roared at Anguirus on how to deal with their foe. Anguirus howled and nodded, understanding. Pass.
Alright, Nagoda, your turn.
Gororin watched as Anguirus began to circle around it, keeping his distance. Just as it him, Godzilla gave it a blast of his atomic breath, grabbing its attention and placing it back on him. The cactus monster glared at Godzilla and rapidly rolled towards him. Godzilla made no attempt to attack or move out of its way, and in fact spread his arms to attack him. And attack him it did, as Gororin once again bounced into the air and smashed into Godzilla. This time, Godzilla did not fall. In fact, before Gororin could bounce away, Godzilla wrapped his arms around it, holding it to his chest. Gororin was tearing into Godzilla's arms and torso, for the pain. He looked at Anguirus and roared. It was time. Anguirus approached Godzilla as he held on Gororin. Almost reluctantly at Godzilla, but a glare from the king was all it took for him to follow Godzilla's orders. The quadruped turned his back to Godzilla, stood up on his hind legs. Flinging himself backwards, Anguirus forcing his needles even deeper into Godzilla's flesh. Godzilla howled as pain racked his body, but did not really. In fact, he was incapable of doing so. He pulled his arms away, and Gororin still remained on his body. Jammed too deeply into Godzilla. Godzilla roared, and Anguirus quickly backed away. Godzilla growled as his dorsal fins flashed, the light growing brighter. His eyes flashed the same color as his atomic fires coursed through his entire body. Gororin tried to shake itself free, but it was too late. In a massive explosion, Gororin was blasted from Godzilla's body by a nuke.
That was mild.
Fun, right?
By a nuclear pulse. Pass to Alex, you finish it off.
Flung through the air, bag and shield crashed into the ground. Though it could not shriek out in pain, its pain was evident.
Hey, now, I
Most
don't
of
think
it.
that's the official canon.
Well, Grayshawn, I'm sorry to say, but my canon goes above yours and above Toho's official say, so my say is all you need. You don't need to check the sources. I'm your source. I know what I'm saying is right. Most of its needles had been burned away, and parts of its skin were burnt. Anguirus walked over and stood next to Godzilla. The two watched as Bag and Shield twitched and shook for a few minutes. After a moment, Back and Shield's eyes opened, still alive and horny. But its anger was no match for Godzilla's. The king of the monsters took a step forward, roaring in fury. His dorsal fins began to light up once more, but this time their blue glow was replaced by a crimson flash. Super powerful energies built up in Godzilla's gut, which he released at Bag and Shield in the form of his ultimate weapon, the Deus Ex Machina. Blast struck Bag and Shield and struck it hard. The rest of the needles were another blast, and its skin was charred black. To quote Kaiju X, "That's racist." The plant monster caught fire and continued to burn, giving no sign of fading anytime soon. Godzilla and Anguirus watched as Bag and Shield burnt to a crisp. Eventually, the two allies turned away from their fallen foe and began to travel inland, exchanging roars and howls about their latest winner, Godzilla and Anguirus.
Their latest victory. Yeah. This was overall, I'd say this was it's a solid match. I'd say.
Yeah, it's decent.
Yeah.
All right, decent banner, a nice introduction to Gororin. It kind of keeps the like some of the spirit of Godzilla Island in there, while still kind of keeping the integrity of the fact that it's like, oh, it's Godzilla and Anguirus. Like the show, Gororin is a powerhouse. Like he mows through everyone. But here it's just kind of like, yeah, it is kind of understanding that a ball of cactus that has needles is silly. And it kind of keeps that sort of silliness, which I enjoyed. I also kind of like how Godzilla more or less kind of neutralizes Gororin with the nuclear pulse there. I kind of like that. I thought that was a cool spin.
Isn't this also? I've seen like the battle this takes. This is basically the Godzilla Island version, just in a KWC form.
Pretty much, yeah. It's pretty much the Godzilla Island match, except with just with Godzilla and Anguirus, because Anguirus is a major player in Gororin's story arc. So, there was a lot more going on in the Godzilla Island story arc Gororin appeared in, but this was obviously made simple. Which again, I think this one I really like because it is really simple. It's hard for me to really say to expand on anything, partially because it's just kind of like, there it is. It's just Godzilla.
It's neat. Yeah, it's a neat introduction for Gororin, and again, for those that have kind of a rehash to a sense, but for those that didn't, which probably will actually read it, it was still a solid match.
Right. Well, I wouldn't really call it a rehash, as it is just a KWC adaptation. So.
Well, no, I'm saying it's a redo of the battle that Gororin fought, because Gororin fought Anguirus and Godzilla.
Well, and a lot of other monsters too.
Oh, I thought.
Yeah, there were a lot more monsters in that story arc, and like I said, Gororin mows all of them down. Like the only thing that pretty much acts as the story's Deus Ex is Anguirus' back.
Yeah, but here. He only cares about Godzilla and Anguirus.
I mean, they are the best ones.
Yeah, that's true.
Right, and they're best buddies too, so it's always nice to have that sort of. Yeah, that's the other part I like too. It's like some of Godzilla of Anguirus' interactions. Like Anguirus is reluctant, but Godzilla, it's like he commands authority, so it's like, okay, I'll do it. And likewise, just the fact that it's like after they defeat him, it's just like they're just kind of exchanging little talks over their victory. Which I thought was a really nice touch for this match. So, really enjoyed
are you saying?
Wait, what am I saying?
I don't know, Kaiju X. What are you saying? What are all of us saying? What does it all mean?
I don't know.
Why are we here?
Yes, Alex just kind of cut off there for a moment, so I didn't get to hear what he said.
Okay. When you're saying Godzilla's dominant, are you saying that it's a submissive one?
Well, he has been mistaken for Gamera, so. But let's not.
According to a dickhead.
Also known as Red King.
No, hey, what? I thought you were talking about my match. I was gonna say because Iris confused Godzilla for Gamera.
Really? Oh boy. Well, we'll get there when we get there. But
Is
yeah.
Iris blind or just stupid?
No, he,
Well-
he detected a whole bunch of Gauss dying. I thought the only creature that could do that was Gamera, and he found Godzilla.
Well, GBZ, did you have any?
You're making fun of me, but I hear snickering.
Joe, did you have any thoughts?
I thought it was a decent match to watch Godzilla Island.
We all.
Still,
It's like 5 minutes
Everyone
apparently each.
I thought it was 3 minutes.
3 minutes.
Oh, damn.
That includes opening and endings.
oh,
So yeah, the episodes
So-
were really short.
So
5 seconds for actual content then.
Pretty much.
but without any context about Gororin, it was decent.
Right, yeah, I think this represents the character really well, I think. In my opinion, I should say.
Yeah, I can agree.
Nagoda, did you have anything to add on?
I liked how Godzilla's plan was holding onto a giant cactus and having Anguirus stab him into himself.
It's a genius plan.
Foolproof.
Oh, don't you know Godzilla's a sadomasochist? Anyway.
Yeah. Oh.
but
Yeah, the match was decent. It was nice seeing a good old Godzilla and Anguirus team up.
Mhm.
Yep.
Though I have to say, Godzilla looks kind of weird in the banner. Like he's getting too excited for this
Oh yeah,
fight.
guess we haven't really spoken about the banner.
He is a sadomasochist.
Yeah, it's just this form.
Yeah, he's
It
good.
could be just a model.
I'm gonna get you.
Alright, we like the Godzilla and Anguirus models look really good. And of course, Gororin's obviously taken from, the TK pick. Which, fun fact, that's
Yep.
the only image we'll ever see Gororin's eyes in. So, that's funny. But yeah, it's a simple but effective banner, I'd say.
Yeah.
Is that it? Just general
I think
consensus, solid match?
Yeah,
That's
solid
all,
match.
Alright, cool. Well, anyway, that was match 54, and we will see you guys next time for match 55. Now, until then, everyone.
See you later.
Boy.